Hello, welcome back to the SKN Football Files, the highlight show breaking down the Premier League of the beautiful Caribbean island of St Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, today we look at the highlights for the St Kitts and Nevis Premier League match week 5. The opening game of match week 5 shows a true David versus Goliath matchup as Mantab took on Rams Village Superstars. Bath against Old Road Jets, two clubs trying to get back to winning ways after both losing in match week 4. St Peter's looking to put an end to Connery's 100% record, an early relegation 6-pointer as Sandy Point take on Security, who are still looking for their first goal and points of the season. And the final matchup of the week, which looks to be the must-watch match of the week, as last season's champion St Paul's take on the most informed team in the league, K-On, who has a 100% record and have not conceded a goal yet.
Yeah, the first game of match week 5 shows off the powerhouses. My cat is clawing. Shows out the powerhouses of the league, the best attack of the league, Rams, taking on the league strugglers and worst defence of the league, Mantab. If any game was guaranteed goals, it would be this game. And we were treated to a goal in the opening 3 minutes. If you thought it was Mantab that had a chance of going in ahead of this game, you'd be very wrong, because a ball straight through the middle of the park by the Rams Village midfielder played in Rogers, who simply took it around the defender and blasted it into the back far left of the goal to open the scoring at 1-0.
Raheem comes forward. Raheem looking for his captain. Captain goes, get a touch around the defender. It's a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. This is Rogers. Rogers, too easy. Too easy on that occasion. Rogers put that one in the back of the net.
It took a whole 11 minutes for the next goal, as it was really attack versus defence in this game. As Rogers scoring the first, Amari wanted in on the action as he ran down in past the defence, and with the keeper in a crazy position, Amari looked up and blasted the ball in on the near post. A simple finish extending the Rams' lead.
Striking the dominance, and this one goes over, looking for Amri. I actually thought he was going to cross it, but
It was a very fast-paced and quick-scoring game between the two sides, as the third goal in the match came in the 16th minute. And with how the game was going, you would be extremely surprised if it was Mantab scoring the third goal. But be surprised, because from a clinical free kick, Mantab were back in the game at 2-1.
Alexander goes in and Alexander hits it! Oh my goodness! Alexander! Around the wall in the back of the net!
The goals settled down a bit after that, as Mantab were just trying to contain the Rams, who were really knocking on the door to find their third goal. And it did finally come in the 28th minute, as Fleming found himself unmarked as Elliott crossed the ball low and hard, and Fleming just had to get his shot on target, which he did to add the third goal for the Rams, sending them into a 3-1 lead.
Cross, the Mantab head goes up as far as Elliott. Elliott fakes, Elliott with a cross! Oh my gosh, on the back post is Fleming! No Mantab play around!
And just before half-time, in the 42nd minute, there was the final blow of the half, as Rogers broke free on the right-hand side and rifled the ball into the back of the net to take the game into half-time. Rams 4, Mantab 1, Rogers with 2 of those goals.
Yeah, a change of ends and the second half kicked off. Now, Mantab were poor, and well, by poor, we mean it was hard to watch. They were not fast enough, they were not strong enough, and they did not have the knowledge of play that the Rams did. In all honesty, it was a demolition job, and because we don't want the video to go on for hours, we will sum the second half up rather quickly. Rogers completed his hat-trick in the 56th minute with a low cross from the byline, finding Rogers, who just had to poke it home to make it 5-1. Zari made it 6-1 in the 71st minute, as Rogers, who had 3 players close to him, passed it across to the right, and Zari smashed it into the bottom left corner. Rogers was playmaker again in the 81st minute, as he played through to Wilkes, who beat the back line of Mantab and fired home for 7-1. And just before additional time, it was 8-1, as Rogers went from assister to scorer with a shot into the same bottom left corner. And that was how the game finished. Rams Village Superstars 8, Mantab 1.
Goes to Emery has some runners. Yes, he plays it on the plate now. This is Rogers. This got to be number 2 for Rogers. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Then he puts puts it around the corner for Samani. Samani with time and space. Samani looking for Rogers, put it on a plate, and there's Rogers completing the hat trick. He's on the wing, so he's gonna have some more darting runs. Here is Rogers. Rogers cuts back. Rogers has an opportunity for a shot. He cuts it back for Zari. Zari for the shot, and this one is in the back of the net. Ami looking for Rogers now. Rogers had jumps it inside to Wilt. Joseph puts it in the back of the net. Rogers to Ami. Ami now with the ball. Ami leaves it, but then Wilt takes over. Finding Rogers. Rogers takes it and leg. And no way! The goalkeeper dives after the ball goes in the back of the net. So.
Yeah, an absolute demolition job. 4 Rams there, and Madtab looked lost all at sea. A very poor performance all round. The only bit of wow was the free kick goal.
Yeah, it is extremely worrying for Madtab. They have by far the worst defence in the league and now sit on 0 points and a minus 23 goal difference. And realistically, where are the points going to come from?
Yeah, realistically, I mean, we can't see where they're going to pick up points against any of those teams in the top 7. Look, the only teams I could possibly see them getting points it's Sandy Point or most likely Security. Security are just scared of the goal, to be honest. Yeah. But like conceding every game, you conceded at least 5 goals.
Yeah.
And the running joke is Mantab 5 up, 5 down.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's worrying times for Mantab there. But the next game of the week shows Bath taking on Old Road Jets, as both teams were wanting to put their result of last week behind them. Now, we don't really have highlights for this match, as it was a pretty boring match in all honesty. Most of the game was played in midfield, and the Bath and Old Road defences were really cancelling everything out the moment a promising player rose. But nevertheless, the match ended in a goalless draw between the two sides and finished 0-0.
Yeah, two teams that are really wanting to push into those top 4 spots. But Bath, after their strong start of the season, are starting to fall off a bit now, with no wins in 3. But the next match of the week shows the 100% record team Connery up against a St. Peter's side who have picked up form after their rocky start of the season.
Yeah, and it did not take long for Connery to take the lead, as in the 7th minute, a lethal through ball found the Connery forward to smash it past the keeper and make it 1-0.
Get in his pocket, pick there. Tijani Ford goes on the inside, looking for Wasim. Wasim putting that one into the back of the net, and Wasim how? Putting Connery up some 1-0 here.
It did not take long though for St. Peter's to get back into the game, because in the 13th minute St. Peter's won the ball in a dangerous position, and after a few rebounds it finally came to the St. Peter's forward, who unleashed a beauty of a shot into the far corner, giving the Connery goalkeeper no chance and putting St. Peter's right back into the tie.
Not able to get it, but it's turnover there. Boston looking to square that one, finds Jolly. Jolly fires and it's cleared off of the line, and there comes a shot by Aiden Nurse, a rocket of a shot, putting that one into the back of the net.
And the first half came to an end with the score at 1-1. It only took us 10 minutes into the second half as St. Peter's drove forward with the ball inside Connery's penalty area. Now, we have watched it back a few times and we aren't fully sure on this one, as it does look like the Connery player completely got the ball, but with the camera angle and a player in the way, we cannot be 100% sure. However, St. Peter's stepped up and scored in the 55th minute to send St. Peter's 2-1 up, and meant that if Connery wanted to keep their 100% record, they would need to do it in the hard way.
And it's lovely beat there. Strong tackle there by penalty. Stevens, the honest Stevens versus Brown. Whistle goes. And it's easily slotted away into the back of the net.
Yeah, Connery was given a lifeline though in the 69th minute as a corner came in and was initially dealt with by the St. Peter's backline. The ball filtered out to the 18-yard box where the Connery player unleashed a shot towards goal. St. Peter's player did jump with his arms down at his side in a completely natural position. The ball did strike him on the arm, so gave a penalty. Connery stepped up and sent the keeper the wrong way to equalise.
One. So it's corner kick. Connery coming alive here. Wasn't plays that one to the near post. Matthew sprays it back round. Matthew, and it's a handball and penalty is called. Whistle goes. Macho putting that one into the back of the net.
And late in the game, St. Peter's found their winner to end the game. St. Peter's 3, Connery 2, thus end.
One over the top. Find Simmons. Simmons looking to get away. Simmons still it. Simmons fires and puts it into the back of the net. St. Peter's up and 3 goals to 2.
The 100% win record for Connery. But the next match shows Monday Night Football, as there was no football on the Sunday. And we start with Security Forces, who are looking for their opening goal and points of the season against the Sandy Point side, who are looking to pull away from the relegation zone.
Yeah, and as you could imagine with these two teams, it was a slow start to the game. Both teams have having a few missed passes and quite a few unforced errors across the pitch. It definitely did feel like a battle of the bottom of the league, but the breakthrough did finally come in the 26th minute, and it was for Sandy Point. No surprise there. The ball was floated into the box and headed out wide by the Sandy Point forward, and with the first bit of promising build-up play, they worked the ball into the box. Eddie, for Sandy Point, danced around 2 of the security defenders and popped a shot into the bottom right-hand corner. Goalkeeper couldn't get there in time, and it was 1-0 to Sandy Point.
In Security Forces says out. Sandy Point still with it. As we have Eddie now with it, being tussling, getting around Lumpkins. Eddie still with it, looking to fire a shot, and Eddie puts it into the back of the net. Sandy Point going up. Some 1-0 here.
It did start to look like yet another defeat for Security team, who could not find a goal if it was presented to them on a silver platter.
In a true relegation scrappy game, the teams went into the break with Sandy Point leading. Sandy Point, however, did not take long from the restart in the second half to see the goal net bulge again, as in the 49th minute, a corner came in for Sandy Point, cleared by Security, but cleared into the back of their own net, meaning they have now scored 2 own goals this season, but haven't actually scored one in their own net yet.
For Jones Group Sandy Point, Security Forces is down some 1-0, and they don't want to bury themselves any deeper than they are right now. So, ball played in, and Burrell puts it into the back of the net. It's an own goal off of the head of Burrell.
And with that goal for Sandy Point, it did really kill off any chance of a Security comeback. They had no chance really of getting back into the game. Now, again, it was damage limitation for Security, and they looked like they were dipping even further into that relegation zone. And in the 64th minute, a clinical ball in the midfield sent through Roos, who ran clear of the back line and was taken out in the box. However, there was no decision for the referee to make, as the ball did fall to a fellow Sandy Point player, who made no mistake and drilled it past the keeper to round off a comprehensive 3-0 win to Sandy Point, moving them 6 points away from the drop and leaving Security fans worried with their team in the relegation places with 0 points and 0 games scored after 5 games.
Eddie looking to play through this one for Rouse. Rouse breaking away. Rouse still with it. Rouse is tackled. The ball played through, and it's into the back of the net. Sandy Point going up. The substitution.
Yeah, so Sandy Point moving away from those relegation places, and it is extremely worrying times for Security, who have now played 5 whole matches without finding their first goal. That equates to 7.5 hours of football without scoring a single goal in their net that they're meant to score in.
Yeah.
It's a bit worrying.
It is very worrying for Security now. They've played 7.5 hours of football and they've scored 2 own goals and no goals.
They know where the net is, they just need to know that it's on the other side.
Now, I guess the only silver lining for Security is they're not bottom, because Mantab is so poor.
That's because Mantab can't not concede goals.
Yeah. For Security...
if Mantab had a bit of a better defense, like a bit tighter in defence, and didn't concede as many sloppy goals as they have, it would be even more worrying.
Realistically, who is Security going to be? Sandy Point score goals, and they're one place above them. Mantab score, yeah.
But Mantab score a couple goals though, can't they?
Mantab has scored 6.
Yeah, so they're
scoring at least 1 a game.
Yeah,
and
And if
for a team that can't score,
and when the team that has a worse goal difference then can score, that's a bit worrying.
yeah, it is. It's very worrying for Security. They do feel like a second division team that's just been put in the first division.
They're almost like the free hit team. Like whenever you come against them in your week, you're thinking,
how many are we going to score?
Yeah.
Not are we going to win?
Who's going to get
hat-trick
first?
Yeah. The final game of the week shows probably the best match of the week to watch as St Paul's, last season's champions, take on the informed team of the league, K-On, who not only lost a match yet this season, but have not also conceded a goal yet. And it was a good match, to be honest. First half, there were chances for both teams, but neither of them could find the opening goal, as you would expect. And we did actually have to wait till the 60th minute for a goal, and what a goal it was. Kalanji Clark, the international for St Kitts and Nevis, take a bow. This was probably, this is definitely the best goal we've seen in the league.
Goal of the season so far.
Goal of the season, 100%. If it doesn't win it, I'm not sure what Kalanji needs to do. Potentially one of the best goals we've ever seen, to be honest. A lethal and perfect shot from the halfway line. Take a look at this, nestling into the top corner.
Javor leader finds Libert. Libert goes wide, finds Kalonji. Always available for it. He's going to cut on the inside. He has two players looking to close. He takes a deep shot, and it's a wonderful ball. That one's a screamer. It's a brilliant shot taken by Kalonji.
Now, just how good is Kalanji Clark?
That was a quality finish, to be fair. Like cutting in from the right-hand side and then smashing it into the top left corner with that much power and accuracy.
And that precision.
Yeah.
I wonder if he meant it.
I mean...
no, he must have meant it. It's Kalanji Clark.
Yeah. Considering Cairn haven't conceded a goal, you can't really complain at conceding a goal like that. As your first goal conceded.
Your first goal conceded is an absolute screamer.
In the fifth week of games, and you concede that as your first goal, you can't really complain. You've just got to take a bow to that.
Yeah, even K-On fans, obviously you being one of them, you've just got to stand up and clap that, because that is such a sensational, perfect goal.
Yeah, and no keeper's saving that.
Yeah, and it couldn't have been scored by a nicer person. Kalanji is a lovely person. I've spoken to him on Facebook a few times. He's a lovely person and he's a brilliant footballer. No wonder he's in the national team.
Yeah. But yeah, it did not take K-On long to find the equaliser, as in the 67th minute, a brilliant bit of play by the K-On winger who collected the ball deep inside the St Paul's half, and after dancing around practically the whole of the St Peter's back line, noticed the keeper in a questionable position and smashed it into the back of the net to equalise and put the score back to level at 1-1.
Gets into the box, can he get a shot off? And that's good. That's the equaliser. It's an excellent goal by...
And in the 77th minute, K-On took the lead after a spill from the St Paul's goalkeeper, leading to a Christmas gift for K-On as they capitalised and smashed the ball home from close range, completing the comeback and taking a 2-1 lead.
One to play between them. He comes wider, looking for Jabez Dorset. He comes onto the ball now. Can he get a cross in? He checks back. On the top of the box is Johannes, and it's straight to the goalkeeper. Out of his hands, and he's in the back of the net. And that's goal number 2. Marvin Lewis.
In the closing moments, K-On must have thought that the game was won and their 100% record was still intact, but St Paul's definitely had something to say on the matter, as in the dying moments of injury time, with a corner coming in and a free header with probably one of the smallest players on the pitch for St Paul's heading it goalwards, and the goalkeeper, well, we have no idea what he was doing, and the ball hit the back of the net to round off the game, and St Paul's breaking K-On's 100% record, but still haven't lost a game yet for K-On.
Those kind of saves, but he has more work to do. A corner here by Kalonji Clark, floated into the box. Who's going to get a head onto it? That's the equaliser there. That is the equaliser.
It was a great game throughout, and it was just a shame that the K-On's second goal was a spill from the keeper, which was just a bit of a mess. But that late goal conceded for K-On, that was...
Considering the saves that the keeper's made, especially against Rams, that point blank save, you look at saves he's made in the past, and then you see that one, it's a bit where does that come from?
A bit of
lack in concentration. I think, maybe.
Late in the game, a lack in concentration. Probably K-On missed out on that, and overall, to be fair, I did think a draw was probably the fairest of results.
Yeah.
But yeah, now all of the games have been completed for match week 5, so we can look at the current league table, which means it's going over James's face again. K-On stayed top of the table. That late goal conceded to stop their 100% record, but still remain unbeaten in the league. They sit on 13 points with 5 games played. Village jump up into second, overtaking Connery, who sit in third. Connery's lost this week, obviously equating to that jump. Village being the best attack in the league as well, sitting both of them on 12 points. Village obviously have a better goal difference. St Peter's sit in that last top 4 spot on 9 points. Old Road Jet, St Paul's and Bath all make up the next 3 spots, all sitting on 7 points with various goal differences. Sandy Point's win against Security sees them 6 points. 6 points clear of relegation and only 3 points off the top 4 spaces, which is brilliant considering their start to the season. Security Forces, no surprise there, with no goals scored yet, are in the relegation places, but are only in 9th position, conceding 15 goals without reply. The worst defence in the league, though, does sit bottom of the pack, with 0 points for Mantab, with a worrying minus 23 goal difference in their 5 games played so far this season.
Yeah, you have to start worrying for Security and Mantab fans, but with the league table all complete, and we can look forward to matches in week 6. I think
6, yeah.
I think it's week 6 now, yeah. So match week 6 kicks off with K-On taking on Bath, so it is me versus Stephen. K-On wanting to sort of bounce back from dropping points, but carry on their unbeaten start to the season against Bath, a side who started well but are now dropping off. The second game sees Mantab, the league strugglers, who are really needing to pick up some points from somewhere, and they take on Sandy Point, and you would think this one is their best opportunity for Mantab to do so. Village face off against Connery. That will be a very interesting game, that team that both done really well this season, to try and consolidate second place. Security have an uphill struggle against St Paul's. Obviously, Security struggle. St Paul's getting a late equaliser against Rams.
Yeah.
So that'll be hopefully a game for St Paul's to want to go out and win, but Security will have a tough test for themselves. The final game of the week shows St Peter's taking on Old Road Jets. Now this could be quite an interesting game because both teams have sort of had a positive and negative side to their start to the season. So this could be a really interesting game. So quite a good set of matches lined up for this week. But remember that the kickoff times in both St Kitts and Nevis and in England are on the bottom of the screen. And you can watch all the games live and for free on the FIFA Plus app.
So thank you for joining us this week for the SKN Football Files. We look forward to seeing you next week for the breakdown of all the action of this fantastic league. So, bye-bye.